This is London calling in the overseas service of the British Broadcasting Corporation.
I have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been received, and that consequently this country is at war with Germany.
The pocket battleship, Graf Spee, which has been for many weeks preying upon the trade of the South Atlantic, and met her doom.
Mother dear, I'm writing you from somewhere in France, hoping this finds you well.
We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall never surrender.
Hang up the washing on the Siegfried line, 'cause the washing day is here. Whether the weather may be fair or fine, we'll just love along.
Das Oberkommando der Wehrmacht gibt bekannt. Ein im Atlantik operierender deutscher Flottenverband unter Führung des Flottenchefs Admiral Lütjen im Seegebiet um Island auf schwere englische Seestreitkräfte. Das Schlachtschiff Bismarck hat hierbei einen englischen Schlachtkreuzer, wahrscheinlich Hood, vernichtet.
The sinking of the Bismarck was due to the cooperation of the RAF with the Navy. And Rodney, which did some pretty work with her 16-inch guns.
Ah, this is not the end. It is not even the beginning of the end. But it is perhaps the end of the beginning. But the Japanese High Command had declared that a state of war existed with Great Britain and the United States.
The German Navy, so proudly built up by that smug strategical genius, the Führer, is slowly but surely being wiped out. Now the Scharnhorst, the 26,000-ton battleship, has gone to the bottom, a not unusual result of action against the Royal Navy.
Led by a powerful British escort, the main body of the surrendered Italian fleet is transferred from Malta to Alexandria.
Signed the act of unconditional surrender of all German land, sea, and air forces in Europe to the Allied Expeditionary Force.
Back across the China Sea for the last large-scale surrender at Hong Kong, where today warships of the Royal Navy ride at anchor in the harbor.
And now for something completely different.
Well, hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gallagher Major, and this is going to be the Patchnotes review, or read through, I guess you could say, where we'll be taking a look at the Patchnotes for November 2022. It's the update which is coming next week. So, hello and welcome to my home office. I hope you're all having a good day. I know it's Thursday, so maybe we're all looking forward to Friday. I'd say hello to everyone who's in the chat, or popped by at least. So we have Channy Ho, we have Action Pumper, Randy Chang, Darko, Jeff Dave, and Melissa Smith. Hello, hello. So first thing, as always, is we will bring up the trailer and we'll have a little play of the trailer. So what I'll do is I'll make the logos disappear, make myself disappear, and then we'll play the trailer, and I'll stop it as we go through, and just point out any things that I kind of think might be of interest. So let's watch this together.
Royal Navy and Marine National welcome reinforcements. 6 new ships of Tier 8 arrived to the tech tree, including British cruiser Neptune and French battleship Alsace. A new campaign is here too, of course, headlined by Japanese Tier 8 premium destroyer Hayate. With hard-hitting torpedoes and ability to equip torpedo reload booster, there are 100 miles
in exchange for smoke, which is quite interesting. Very similar to the Kagero, so she's not going to be able to keep both. So if we just quickly capture that. Superior HE damage, big yield, and repeater. Now repeater is basically going to be quite it's a strange thing to give this ship, considering she's only really a repeater in torpedoes when she has the torpedo reload booster. So they've given her a trait related to a consumable which she can or cannot equip, I guess you could say, depending on whether you choose smoke or torpedo reload booster. Big yield, so hard-hitting torpedoes, and apologies, a typical high explosive penetration for a Japanese destroyer.
Yar, pirates.
Now I'm just going to quickly pause here. Yar, pirates. Big ship with a French flag. Little ship with a Royal Navy flag.
2 unique captains and 2 pirate ships under the British and French flags will be obtainable in
No, you can't see the flag on the Le Fantasque there.
this update. These pirate
But so does this mean the Le Fantasque is going to be coming to the game as a premium British destroyer?
are based on Jean Bart and Le Fantasque. Make sure not to miss the event content.
Now it does seem that these are actually commanders, not guises. So that's obviously quite interesting. Now there's 2 ways it might be done. We might be looking at, say, 1 French and 1 British commander, or maybe the commanders can switch nations. I suspect it's probably the first one, because that's pretty simple. That's what they usually do. They go for the simple option. So it's potential. We have a British Le Fantasque with a British commander, and then we have a French Jean Bart with a French commander.
The best time of the year is upon us. The store will be packed with discounts for the whole update.
Now these Black Friday ships, potentially they can be a little different to the tech tree ones, which is an interesting one. So we've already had, say, some confirmations that Bismarck B has a slightly improved secondary range in comparison to Bismarck tech tree. So there are potentially some slight differences with these Black Friday ships compared to the tech tree ships, unlike, say, previous Black Friday ships.
With even more dropping as it goes on, and as many as 5 new black ships, including Japanese cruiser Ibuki and famed Bismarck himself. Ranked 1-on-1 is back. That's right, it's time to battle it out in duels against other captains for 4 seasons, with the first starting on November 10th.
Now I have screenshotted these rewards so we can take a look at them later on. But there's a nice little interesting one. The Black Friday crate is either a depth charge or it could be one of those lifeboat buoys kind of thing.
Choose your favorite content amidst this flurry and turn the tide.
So all in all, a good trailer. There's not any massive giveaways, I guess you could say. So, like, there's no super hints, which is slightly different, I guess you say. And immediately, all the gameplay of the ships is this cinematic view. There's no actual, like, in-game style play from, like, say, the behalf of the player, which I think is obviously starts setting it apart differently from the other trailers. Anyway. So, we'll come back to the containers later on. We'll bring myself back. Let's get some music on. Now, hopefully, I'm not going to kill you with jazz. I've done that before. So this time, let's see if we can just have a little bit of I Vow to Thee, My Country, nice and quietly on in the background. That should be okay, but we'll keep an eye on it. Anyway, I'll have a quick catch up with the chat and say hello to everyone who has popped along. Good to see you, good to see you. Action Pumper, Edinburgh's ready, Lightning, Vanguard question mark. And this is Jutland, yeah, no, Jutland's going to be nice, Jutland and Daring have already been confirmed that they will have American light cruiser style armor piercing shell characteristics, which is going to be quite interesting. There's no confirmation on whether or not they have to heal. That's quite intriguing that they haven't mentioned that. And to be honest, that kind of makes me feel they're not going to have it. But we'll have to wait and see. It's potential that Daring has been confirmed to have a repair party, but I haven't seen it directly myself. Only rumours in the wind, I guess you could say. Lightning will be enjoyable to grind out. Yes, no, it definitely will be Action Pumper. Good evening, Admiral Criv. Sean, good to see you. Finally, British Tier 8s, yes. Yes, finally. Narco, HMS Timiria. I think I'm going to say Timiria. Baby, British great again. Yeah, she's Lion with 419mm guns and Vanguard style secondaries, rather, whereas, like, say, Lion at Tier 7 has 406 guns and King George V style secondaries. Stylo Vogler Berlin. I'm just going to say Berlin going forward, but yeah, good to see you, good to see you. Repeater could mean she has better torpedo reload time overall. No, maybe, but I doubt it. Ingen Hayate and Guns have a torpedo reload of 59 seconds, so it could be slightly quicker. Running Chang, I love the jewels, so 1v1 range, that's a thumbs up there. Narco, depth charge. Submarines are untested, makes sense. The thing is, I've seen them do this container before. Whether it's actually a depth charge or not, it's hard to say. It could be that they're just using assets that they already have access to over on World of Warships PC, and it could mean absolutely nothing here. I mean, like last year, we had sea mines, didn't we? Let's have a look. I mean, yeah, last year we had sea mines, and we haven't got minesweepers or mine layers. So, okay, we have Italian cruisers, but that's beside the point. So yeah, I wouldn't read too much into what the Black Friday crate is, I guess you could say. Sean, what happened to the Aussie trailer commentator? I don't know. How about some Pirate Shanties music? Well, it's probably mostly copyrighted, unfortunately. Right. Oh, Big Killer, hello. Right, I'm going to skip over the chat for now. We're going to make a start on reading through these patch notes. Now, obviously, I have read them briefly, but I haven't really had like a proper sit down. So let's go through it as always. So, patch is dropping on November the 7th between 7 AM and 11 AM UTC. I'd say expect that maintenance patch period to get extended. It's just become a thing. So for now, just expect it to probably last longer. So I'd probably say expect it to go till about 1300 UTC, just in case. Like, just make sure you got that bit of wiggle room. Now the patch size varies massively. Like, it's nuts, really. Like the PS5, it's only 471 megabytes, whereas on the Xbox One we're up to 3.6 gig, 3.7 gig. Android is 1.2 gig. Apple operating systems is 1.1 gig, PS4 is 2.7 gig, Xbox Series S is 2.8 gig. So yeah, it's all a little bit all over the shop. Hello, Az. Hello. And Andy Mack as well. Good to see you. Quite a few people here today. Zuma as well. Good morning. So, on to the November update. Now, honestly, they do go over the usual quick blur, which is basically, yeah, there's tier 8 British and French, they got the campaign, they got Black Friday, pirate stuff. I don't really understand why the pirate stuff, it just seems a little bit out of the blue, in all honesty. Legendary Daring, full 1v1 ranks, and more, of course, but it's not really that much more, I guess you could say. It's mostly just buffs and nerfs and little bits and bobs like that, I guess you could say. But yeah, so it does seem quite interesting. Now, this redeem code is down in the description along with the link to the redeemer. So if you haven't redeemed this already, feel free just to quickly scroll down to the description. You can then all copy and paste it and get it all claimed. That'll grant you 5 shadow camos and 5 hunter camos as well. It's also worth noting, if you want to read along as I'm going through the patch notes, a link to the patch notes should also be down there. So if you want to, yeah, I'll leave it down to you. Okay, Royal Navy and Marine Nationale expanding tier 8. So I look forward to getting my first tier 8 tech tree ship, because I have been incredibly incredibly tight-fisted, I guess you could say. I've been saving towards this. I mean, I have a little picture of my account. Can I just basically, at the moment on my account, I've got 265 million credits and 1 million global XP. Let's just say I've been waiting for these tech tree tier 8s. So they're finally here, which is good news. Yeah. Now, there's not too much to talk about here. They basically talk about a little bit about how they get unlocked. So basically, with the tier 7 ships, the respective branches have sufficient XP on those, then these automatically become unlocked. In fact, you'll need 200,000 elite XP. So that's 100. That's 350 total XP, I think, on the tier 7s, respectively, in Newcomer, and then to fully upgrade them from scratch is 300 XP. So basically, you need 300. So if you get all 3, you need 900,000 global XP to boost these, say, a full nation's set of ships, and they're going to cost you a pretty penny as well. And there's 2 nice little bits of artwork here. So we have the Neptune, which almost looks like an album or whole, but she's got the 6-inch main battery. We have the Temeria in the center, which is basically a lion, but with a larger main battery, 490mm guns. And then on the right we have the Daring. The Daring looks quite chunky. Jutland, I should say. Sorry, pardon me. Jutland's looking quite chunky there. I don't know if it's just a scaling thing, or whether Jutland really is that chunkier ship. She almost looks like a light cruiser. I think there might be a little bit of a scaling issue there. But Jutland is a battle class destroyer. So obviously even have to battle Jutland. And so yeah, she's just a typical British destroyer, sonar, smoke, maybe a hill, we don't know, but improved AP on the turrets, and I think pretty much all the turrets do 360s. So what we do, we'll just have a quick little gander through what these ships are like over on PC. So Jutland, let's get to the pros and cons. She's got a good main battery, rate of fire and turret traverse. She's got improved penetration angles with the AP shells. That has been kind of confirmed via the community managers. Torpedoes have good range and fairly low detectability. The ship itself has quite good concealment as well. It has access to the short burst smoke screen, British style smoke screen, I should say, and she also has hydroacoustic search. We're expecting the typical British hydroacoustic search, which will be able to detect ships at 3.5 kilometers and torpedoes at 2.5 kilometers. And now over on PC, she does have access to the repair party. We are not sure if she will receive that over here on Legends. Downsides is that the Jutland is slow and does lack engine boost, so she's probably going to be doing, I want to say about 36 knots. Let's have a look. She's 34 knots over on PC, so she's probably going to be a 34 knot destroyer. Stick a speed boost flag on that, you should be alright. Also, the AA is going to be pretty weak, but then again, in some regards, you could potentially say that this destroyer has the strongest AA for the tier with that short duration smoke screen that she can deploy pretty rapidly, meaning that she can disappear from enemy aircraft and protect herself. So, in one hand, her ability to shoot down aircraft is pretty poor. However, on the upside, her ability to hide from the aircraft is pretty high. Also, she has, she's going to be quite interesting. I think you can really say. Neptune's going to be your typical British light cruiser. Now she's going to have probably more in common with the Belfast 40, well, with Minotaur and Fiji, rather than with Edinburgh. I guess maybe she might have more in common with Plymouth, being that she's going to be AP only. She's going to have smoke. She's going to have a super heal. We suspect in comparison to say the Fiji. So she's going to have like Edinburgh style repair party. She should come with the same torpedoes as the Edinburgh, 10-kilometer range. She should have quite a good AA capability, which makes sense when you look at her. She is an Albemarle style hull, so she does have those battle class destroyer turrets on the side as her secondary armament. She's also going to have very improved secondary armament, I guess you could say. I suspect her consumables are going to be very on par with the Edinburgh. She's going to be able to take smoke or radar, should have sonar, and should have repair party. I think that's quite typical. I doubt she'll have an extra module. I doubt it. She has probably a large detectability though, so probably taking concealment is going to be highly recommended. She's going to have a very thin armor, very much on par with the Minotaur and the Fiji. You get yourself in the wrong position, you will die very quickly, and it looks like the Citadel also does ride above the water in locations. Also, the shell arcs, probably being their 6-inch guns, they can probably be a bit floaty in the air, especially at long range, making them probably feel a bit sluggish. And potentially maybe the cruiser itself might feel a bit sluggish with probably quite a large turning circle for a cruiser, potentially. Moving on to what is the Cimmerian, which is basically a lion in every regard. So she is going to have a lot in common with the lion. The only difference is obviously she has a slightly improved secondary armament capability, and she does have 419mm guns rather than 406mm guns. So most of these pros and cons are going to be exactly the same. She's going to have great armor piercing, shell penetration, so yeah, but again, short fuse AP, I guess we can expect. She's also going to have high chance of setting fires with high explosive shells. In fact, I'd say that her guns, obviously being larger than Lions, will probably be better than Lions, so they'll probably be better penetrating AP and causing even more fires with the high explosives. Excellent handling characteristics with great concealment and decent belt armor that protects the Citadel when angled. I can testify that. Decent AA capability as well. Yeah, Lion is pretty much a monster when it comes to anti-aircraft capability. And also super heals. Downside zone. Probably a low health pool for her tier, so she'll probably have more HP than Lion, but she won't have as much in comparison to the existing tier 8 battleships. Armor scheme is vulnerable to the broadside, so yeah, don't stick it broadside, and obviously she's going to suffer poorly from a cruiser high explosive shells. She also has poor firing angles. Yeah, we can testify to that. Those turrets, it's either fire 2 or fire 1, or really risk sticking yourself broadside on in order to bring everything to bear, so that's obviously quite risky, I guess you say. Her size and length makes dodging torpedoes difficult, and that's going to still ring true. She also is still going to have an average top speed for her tier, so she's not going to be fast enough to chase certain ships down. I think that is probably also still going to ring true. But generally, I think these ships do look interesting. I do look forward to playing them. I'm ready and waiting with Global XP and credits in order to get them. Anyway, let's have a quick look through. And good evening, her name was Eternal. And McCree of Xbox One will receive a graphics update. Also, FSAA will be turned on. That's why 5 gig update. That's fair enough. Obviously, they are going to tailor these updates to the certain consoles, I guess you could say. We wanted the Jolly Roger flag, but hey, we will throw a whole lot of pirate stuff at you. No flag, yeah. I think, as far as I know, the Jolly Roger flag is still work in progress, I guess you could say, for USS Black. I guess maybe they're waiting for the right event. Look at that beautiful Temerian, yeah. So there's no pirate commander for the USS Kidd. In time, I think. I hope they do this. Oh. Azuma, I love my Royal Navy ships, so the tier 8 don't look too bad. That's fair enough. By the trap, my video worked. Graph Zeppelin buff, baby. To be honest, I think a lot of people have been I think it's quite obvious that the Graph Zeppelin was underperforming. I know, I guess we'll come back to it maybe later on, but it's quite obvious that the Ark Royal was overperforming. Neptune is a Plymouth with less guns, same armor scheme, yeah, but she's also probably going to have more HP, probably better torpedoes, maybe? No, Plymouth retains the 10km torpedoes, doesn't she? But I think the Neptune is going to have 2 launchers per side, so she's going to have more torpedoes, and I guess she might have better anti-aircraft capability as well. Zuma, nice Narco, like Wargaming finally grew a brain cell or 2. Criv, Neptune is all about the reload speed, yeah. No, that's fair enough. They're going to have to give the reload speed to obviously make up for it. I'll laugh at all those who sold Zeppelin. Never sell ships. Yeah, never sell ships. Temerian can have 506 guns if you want, like Friedrich Grosser. I haven't seen that. I've only seen it confirmed that she's getting 419s. Oh, you meant 406 rather. Well, no. So I think Temerian's going to get 419s and Lion's going to keep the 406s. Because I sold the champagne twice. I haven't regretted it once. I'll stick with the 406s on Temerian. I don't think you'll have the option, unfortunately, to make less service pens on cruisers and Black DDs even more. And 406. Major Temerian is pronounced Temera. Oh, okay. Yeah, I should. This is the thing. I should have actually sat down and tried to learn how to pronounce that one. Temera. That's close enough. Don't persecute me too badly. Have mercy, chaps. Have mercy. Right, on to the French, and this is why I say have mercy. Oh, brace yourselves for this one. Right, so we're gonna start off with the Mogador. Right, I think we're off to a good start with this one. Right, he's pronounced it vaguely correct. So yeah, Mogador is on the one on the right. I think she's going to be a pretty typical French destroyer, I should say, and she's going to be incredibly fast, potentially ludicrously fast. Over on PC, she does 54.8 knots with the engine boost and obviously the speed flag. So yeah, she's going to be a nippy destroyer over here on Legends, especially if you say you could put who's the generic commander of the French? Oh, I can't remember now. But if you put the generic commander on there with Velarucius, and then you could inspire it with Bruce Fraser and Blue Furion, and then stick a speed boost flag on it, and then equip the engine boost, you could probably push this thing to about 60 knots, I bet. Although it might cap out. It might cap out at 55 knots, you never know. She obviously comes with main battery reload booster. She has powerful high caliber guns, high HE and AP, and they're dual gun turrets. So she's going to be packing quite a punch. I mean, what's she got? She's got 4 twin gun turrets, 139mm guns. Yeah, that's going to be quite punchy. She's also going to have good HP for a destroyer, mid-range AA suite, and very fast torpedoes with good damage and quick reload. Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds French, in all honesty. Downside, lacks defensive tools. Basically, she relies entirely on speed in order to avoid damage, and also she doesn't have smoke screen. That is what is expected. Wait, do the French get smoke? No, the French don't get smoke. Poor main battery turret reverse to be expected. Slow turret reverse, in fact. And also poor main battery reload. So when you're not using the main battery reload booster, it's quite poor. Also, poor firing angles, pretty typical of French destroyer. You have to get pretty broad in order to bring all guns to target. Also, poor concealment as well. Also, basically exposed to aircraft, and the torpedoes have high detectability. So they may be fast, they may hit hard, but they're going to get seen coming in. Right, onto the cruiser, the one on the left, and I think we might be again onto a winner with the name here, the Saint Louis. I think we're good. Right, so she is she's a 8-inch gun cruiser, 203mm guns. She's got 3 triple turrets, so she's got 2 fore, 1 aft. Pretty generic, I guess you could say. Fast cruiser for the tier, comes with engine boost, good shell velocity and shell trajectories, with decent firing range, good torpedo angles. She might come with main battery reload booster. I think this goes on the back of the experimentation that has been happening with the Charles Patel as of recently, so it might be interesting to see what happens with her. Downsides are that she is obviously with the rest of the French cruising line, she has subpar armour, potentially, and can be which cannot be relied upon. Torpedoes are emergency weapons at best, as she can only launch 3 torpedoes from each side of the ship, so she doesn't have many torpedo launchers. Anti-aircraft capability is pretty horrendous, and concealment is mediocre. So, St. Louis, typically French. Like, if you're used to the Charles Patel, you're probably going to fit in quite well with this ship, I guess you could say. And now for the ship in the middle, which I will probably completely destroy the name of. But I mean, wow, Alice? No. Maybe Alice. We'll go for that, Alice. I'm sure there. I can't see the chat now, but I'm sure there are some furious players out there. But then again, British man pronounced French things incorrectly. Probably should be the motto of this channel. Anyway, pros. She is well protected citadel, difficult to hit, highly effective torpedo damage reduction, 44%. 12 gun broadside. So she has got 3 turrets, 2 fore, 1 aft, and they are they're only 380. Oh wow. She's keeping 15-inch guns at tier 8. She's going to be unique, I guess you could say. Very fast shell travelling time, yeah, basically easiest to lead targets long range, excellent firing angles to the rear, ideal for kiting away. Okay, that sounds interesting. Long range, secondary range, obviously that is subject to change, I guess you say, World Warships Legends. Over on PC, she does have access to the engine boost, and I suspect she probably will still retain that when she comes over to Legends. Downsides, obviously she's covered in 32mm plating, makes her a very basically an exposed target to large caliber high explosives and 460mm and larger AP overmatch. That seems like a typo. I bet they mean 406s. Slow main battery reload speed. She only has 15-inch guns, so she cannot overmatch cruisers with 27mm armor or better. She is exposed to carrier strikes due to her thin armor and large size, and she has poor main battery accuracy to her below average Sigma. She's got a Sigma 1.6 over on PC. She does look chunky. I mean, you look at that picture. Now, we're assuming that these ships are in scale with each other, and in comparison, she does look like a chunky monkey. So, yeah, I could see her being a big target for carriers to hit. Right, can I escape this, or have I got to go back? I've got to go back. Okay, there we go. It all loads in nicely. Anyway, so we've just gone over all the ships and looked at their stats over on PC, and looked at basically their pros and their cons, I guess you could say. Major, and it's proven already by someone I not name. She's gonna have a module to have 406 or 419. Okay. Wow. If that's not true, we all blame Nariko. Nariko's volunteered. Alas. Oh, can we just call it a Lask? That's what I like to call it. But Big Killer, the Agile is the only French DD with smoke. Yeah. What was it? New backgrounds? Yeah, well, we'll get there. But yeah, the new backgrounds does look like basically a very good quality of life change. I'm not going to read any more of this. No, this is back to the port. This is British man pronounced French words incorrectly. Assume RIP French viewers, yeah. If we had any, God. French ship names: DD equals mini baguette, cruisers baguette, and BB is big thick baguette. There we go. And hashtag blame Naruga. Oh, right. So, on to the campaign, which, well, if you like Japanese destroyers, there you go. Another Japanese destroyer. Loosely reminiscent of the Shimakaze, Japanese destroyer Hayate. Hayate. I always think of Hayate, the combat butler. I still need to actually finish season 2 of that. Brings a large HP pool and brutal torpedoes, as well as quite a few gunboat characteristics at tier 8. She's quite a fire starter owing to her quick reload and solid chance of ignition upon impact, and her firing angles allow for great kiting if you're already unleashing her devastating torpedo load. Okay, so while we've got this, let's bring the Hayate out, and then let's actually talk about Hayate. So, she has 3 turrets of twin guns of 127mm guns. Okay, so she hasn't got the 100mm guns that the Akazuki comes with. Okay, that's fair enough, but I guess she's got a 4-second reload though, over on PC. Let's see, what's the fire chance? 9% on those shells. Torpedoes, she's got 2 quintuplet mounts. These have a reload time of 153 seconds. If that is retained over onto World Warships Legends, I don't think you can call her a reloader if she still has the 153-second torpedo reload. That's quite painful. What's their damage? Maximum damage 23,767. Yeah, hard-hitting torpedoes. There'll probably be 20k torpedoes over here in Legends, which is understandable. Torpedoes are basically 12km range, doing 67 knots over on PC. So that's, yeah. I think if she retains that really long reload speed, though, I think the reloader trait is definitely misplaced with this ship. Maneuverability 37 knots. That's not too bad. Not too bad. For a ship 4.6 seconds. Detectability, obviously, World of Warships Legends has a completely different detectability range due to... they keep telling us the maps are the same, but I'm definitely sure they're smaller. Anyway, on to the pros and cons. So she has the best rate of fire among the 127mm armed Japanese destroyers, which is not saying much, though, to say. Good main battery's reverse speed and firing angles ideal for kiting. This is a tongue twister. High explosive damage and fire chance. Powerful torpedo armament. High damage and flooding chance. Good speed and range. She also has access to the torpedo reload booster, but obviously you have to exchange smoke for that over here on World Warships Legends. She also has a large health pool. Downsides. She has base main battery firing range is rather low. Very long torpedo reload time. So yeah, maybe reload trait might be a bit misplaced. Over on PC, she also has to swap a smoke generator for torpedo reload booster. She also has a weak anti-aircraft suite, which is to be expected for a destroyer. She has a large turn radius and sluggish rudder, subpar concealment, and this is one of the downsides over on PC. She is extremely expensive, requiring 2 million global XP in order to unlock. Now she gives the campaign reward. But dare I say, if she's a Global XP ship over on PC, you never know, she might make an appearance in World Warships Legend again in the future for Global XP. I'd probably say you can expect her to cost you a pretty penny. Now, amusingly, over on PC, she has a tier 10, which would make her basically a legendary tier ship over here in Legends. For Legends, she has been down tiered to tier 8. So some of these traits, I guess you say, some of these abilities of this ship might be nerfed a bit in comparison to her PC counterpart. The reason being is obviously she's been squeezed down a tier, which it can't be a good thing, I guess you could say, when that kind of stuff happens. French, a love for 380mm baguettes. Every German switched to 406 with the Frigid class. And, every high tier French BB is 308. Richelieu, Gascon, Jean Bart, Lasque, Burger Baguette. 2 exceptions, Champagne and Bourgogne. Oh my god. Did I get any of those right? Azuma, I love my Japanese DDs, so Hayate might be the first tier 8 campaign I care to get. No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I'm okay. 3 makes sense for the turret layout. That's true. If you're trying to pack all those turrets into a quad turret, yeah, you need the maneuverability and room. So yeah, packing that many in, yeah, makes sense. Hayate has 101 second reload with module, and you can have 59 seconds with Gunzo as commander. Same boat as Kagero and Yugumo in that. That's fair enough. I mean, if you get it down. But this is the thing, like, should you really be given a trait to a ship if quite a lot of it is subject to certain commander builds, module builds, things like that? I think traits given to a ship should be based on the base stats. So it means if the ship isn't good at something, unless you stack loads of stuff to it, but then I don't think you should shout out that the ship is good at it. That's my personal opinion. Right, that's the tea all done. Nice herbal tea. So now we can start talking about the campaign. So, it is a typical 100 milestone campaign over 5 weeks. Amity backing is confirmed to be 2,500 doubloons. Good news, that's not changing. We will obviously take a look at the rewards in this. Well, let's look at them now. But then there's obviously the nice overview graphic, as you could say. And I never tracked global XP in my spreadsheet, so maybe, I mean, it's going to take a bit of work, but maybe I need to go through all the campaigns and update global XP, because I think that's dropped quite significantly. I won't do the checking now. The questionnaire, hello. So, the stuff that probably matters to players is obviously usually the commander stuff, which is 15 promotionals, 1 insignia, 1 commendation, 7 days of premium as well, and then the rest of it generally is more like baseline stuff, I guess you say. Anyway, the total amount, well, the total doubloon value of the rewards without empty backings, 15,187. And then, if you get the empty backing, you're going to be getting, in addition, a 30 promotional ones, 3 insignias, 3 accommodations, 750 doubloons, as well as the commemorative flag, the ship, and other bits and bobs, I guess you could say. Anyway, the total amount of doubloon value with amity backing is 73,250. So how obviously does this compare to previous campaigns? Right, so this is, as far as records go, basically those values without amity backing, with amity backing, and the difference and the percentage without. I suspect I've made a boo-boo here actually, so give me a second. Actually, I can work on that screen because you can't see that screen, so give me a second. I might see if I can just quickly update this. Because I bet... Oh, I've lost the averages off the bottom. Have I? Oh no, there they are. Yeah, I haven't dragged the averages up. Give me a second. I'll get the... well, ignore that. But I'll just let that cycle. It's fine. I need to just get this sorted. There we go. Drag that up. Okay, and then I just need to do a quick screen grab, and then I can get that updated. That's my bad. File, save as, save. Yes. Close it down, and now, fingers crossed, when I go left, there we go. Now I've got the averages all updated for you, which is good news, I guess. So, in comparison to recent campaigns, it's not the greatest. In comparison to previous Novembers, it's one of the worst, apart from the November where we didn't even have a campaign. Amount with empty backing as well is definitely lower than previous Novembers. Like, apart from obviously the November where we didn't have a campaign. As of recent, yeah, you'd be hard pressed. I mean, it was August we had a better campaign value. Apart from that, before that, yeah, you're going all the way back to December. And it is above average. So the amount that you're getting with average backing is above average. The amount you're getting without average backing is below average. That's the downside. It's not. It doesn't look like, in regards to value, doesn't look the greatest. Doesn't look like the worst campaign. Difference, there's a bigger difference, about 20%. Used to be, the average is about 25%. It's interesting. Right, now one thing I have been doing is I have been obviously tracking, well, putting this into a graphic, I should say. So I'll just quickly drop the logos off. There you go, that gives you an idea. So yeah, you can kind of see that the amount of rewards with anti-backing has kind of stayed stable. The amount that you're getting without anti-backing's kind of dropped, and then the difference has definitely risen up. So yeah, I guess we could interpret that from the numbers, but I guess it's nice to see it in this format as well. And then we also have the rewards. I'll get rid of the webcam for a second. So this is tracking the rewards. Now, we have a couple of metrics here. We have booster flags, we have insignias, we have Commander XP, we have accommodations, premium days, and research. I've added research points as of late. Now, as you can see, the amount of Commander XP we're receiving without amity backing, it's better than last patch, but it's still pretty low in comparison to the general history. In regards to Commander XP that we're getting with amity backing, it seems reasonably fair, I guess you could say. It's definitely, yeah, I'd say it's a fair amount. Insignias are the same. Booster flags, we're looking at about the same, really. Although in comparison to previous Novembers, it's obviously not that great. Accommodations is about the same. Premium days is the same. Obviously, we have some 7-day patches and we have some 8-day patches, and this is going to be a 7-day patch, it would appear. Research points, yeah, it's staying the same, but I'm going to keep track of those. Now, one thing that does kind of interest me is, almost like I said, what about global XP? Because with these new campaigns, they've got to be tweaking something down. I mean, they can, especially with now they're adding research points, something has to give, I guess you could say. So I'm just going to quickly pull up the past couple of patches if I can, and then we'll have a quick look at it ourselves. Right, webcam back, logo's back, let's jump to the back here. Right, so I've just quickly blitzed that. So this is this patch, I guess you say. So that's up to 45,000 global XP. This is the Halloween patch. 45,000 global XP. Okay. Going to the previous one. 40,000 global XP. One before that. 34,000 global XP. And that's the containers. So, you know, we've gone back to July. It doesn't seem like global XP is making any massive differences right now. However, I might add this metric into my tracking just to see where it goes. Because it does feel like something he's going to have to give. Anyway, so that gives you an idea of most of the things. Yeah, before we move on to amity backing, so what I'll do, I'll just bring this up on the screen and I'll quickly catch up with the chat. Okay, I think a good player is going to dominate a round with Hayate, but if you have a good carrier player, he can save you from Hayate. Very true, very true. When you get your research points from the campaign, don't sit on it. Only 3.5 million research points can be stored in your account at the moment. Oh, what? That's a bit lame. Yeah, Major, campaign give you less than every campaign before. It's not, it doesn't stand out massively. I think this is the thing, this is why I wanted to start doing this kind of go compare stuff. The reason being is some people, it can be a bit perceived, but yeah, this one, it's worth tracking the changes. Obviously the changes aren't massive as yet, but yeah, you can kind of see the amount that you're getting without average backing. I mean, it doesn't stand out massively, but you can see there's a bit of a lower trend as of recently, ever since Tier 8. Now, obviously, I'd like to see a couple more patches, but just to settle that out to see where it goes. But yeah, no. So this is why I keep an eye on it, in all honesty. I'm not going to jump to conclusions as yet, because obviously, when it comes to the graph, you can kind of see it looks generally, if you drew like a median on it, looks like it stayed pretty stable. And when you look at the rewards as well, they again seem to stay, I wouldn't say super stable, they go up and they go down, but I wouldn't say they're massively changing as yet, which is intriguing maybe. Anyway, sorry Sax, hello. Andy Mac, damn CVs, and then Narco straight after. I love my CVs. There aren't that many smart CV players, and most farm only damage on BBs or border hump. Yeah, that's true. When you're against one or in one Narco, I'm always the CV, because 99% you see me in the CV. The first thing I do is go closer and hunt the leads and support the caps. Farming damage is not my cup of tea in a carrier. Spoiler, they cut short the reward in the campaign to introduce a battle pass in Legends 2. What? Ranchan, is there a support group for those who want to skip campaigns but always feel pressured to get backing at the last minute? I don't think so. I'm sure we could start one maybe. I thought our campaigns were already a battle pass. PC and Blitz didn't have campaigns, but they had battle passes. Equipped the campaign on PC with the dockyard and pass every month before. Now PC has dockyard and battle pass. Oh, good lord. Well, I guess we got the Bureau. I guess the Bureau is like our dockyard, and the battle pass is like our campaign. Would be like my rough interpretation of it. Anyway. Let's move on to Black Friday. So Black Friday, it's usually existing ships reskinned black for Black Friday so they can make some money. Now there are some slight differences this year with these ships apparently. So obviously we'll talk a little bit about them. Italian Tier 3 premium battleship Dante is becoming complete with a SAP module, so potentially testing SAP on Italian battleships. Ibuki with improved accuracy. I don't know whether that's to maybe testing something. Don't know. Duke of d'Osterby, basically just a black Duke of d'Oster. Z39B, just a black Z39. Then we have the Bismarck B, and she's coming with upgrade secondary battery, which they've called ATBA, which is anti-torpedo boat armament. Range at the expense of main battery range. So what they mean by that is, I think Bismarck Tech Tree comes with a secondary battery range of 7.5 kilometers. The Bismarck B is going to be coming with a secondary battery range base of 7.7 kilometers. So it is 200 meters more than the Tech Tree. Whether that's really going to be worthwhile at the expense of your main battery, maybe. It depends how you play it, I guess you could say. Obviously, there will be a dedicated Black Friday article forthcoming, which makes sense. They do a lot of these more forthcoming things as we go along. So, Pirates on the Horizon, we kind of saw them, I guess you could say. Amusingly, this is them bringing the Jean Bar back in a formal manner, I guess you could say. And also, they talk about 2 dedicated captains with their rovers under British and French flags. Now, I don't know whether they're both under British and French, or whether it's one British and one French. We'll have to see. With more content available, including the special chest. Now we'll have a quick look at the special chest. Pirates are arriving on our seas in force. Save the date for use Scallywag. Starting from December the 1st, you can exchange your shiny funds for captains and boats in store. An article covering the content, blah 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 blah. Little hint: these pirates prefer French ships, hence their Le Fantasque and the Jean Bar, but they don't always fight for France, hence the Jean Bar's French and the Le Fantasque is British. Fair enough. It's yeah. The Le Fantasque has become a British colony. We've turned up and put a flag in it. Let's look at the treasure chest. So the treasure chest looks nothing special, in all honesty. It's a wooden box with some cogs on the side. Anyway, chances to get into doubloons, well, 1,250. Basically, you're going to get doubloons regardless. So you're always going to get doubloons. And then, let's have a look. A bit more. If you're already on the ship, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't really say. But basically, you're always going to get doubloons. And then something else. And we don't know how many of anything else, because it doesn't say. If you wanted the no effect from the first. Yeah, no, there's no. It doesn't say anything else. So you could get one other rewards. You could get two rewards. It could be 3 slot crate potentially. We're not sure. But yeah, 3 pirate camos, 30%, 1 million credits, 19. Well, basically that's 20%. 2,500 gold XP, 17.5%. 250 doubloons of Blackbeard's curse. Blood's curse is 1,718 doubloons, the same year as the infamous pirate's death. There is no other effect from this curse. Basically, it's just a mission to earn some credits, some doubloons, I guess you could say, maybe. Or I don't know, is it just more doubloons? I think it's just more doubloons. Maybe it's not even a mission. Okay, it's just more doubloons. So basically, I haven't got my calculator. Let's see if I can do this off the top of my head. It's under 2,000 doubloons. It's say 1,978 doubloons. I think, maybe. Let's say that's about that. 5 promotional ones, 10%, 1 commendation, 7.5%, new 1 insignia, 5%, 1 pirate commander for pirate commander for 0.2%, premium ship for 0.01%, and super prize of 100,000 balloons for 0.01%. So yeah, it's basically same as the St. Patrick's Day crates, where you buy it to get the balloons, and you might get rewards and a chance to get something else. Black Friday containers. I guess it's worth mentioning. Obviously, there are Black Friday containers. Maybe we're a little bit out of sync talking about it now, but this is for them. Shallow camouflages, credits, global XP, promotional orders, premium, ship, doubloons, accommodation, Bogey. Yeah, it's not really too much worth talking about. Oh, okay, here we go. This container uses a guaranteed reward system. You are guaranteed to receive a ship in your 40th container if you were lucky. Each time you receive a ship from this container, the guaranteed counter resets. The guaranteed drop can occur as long as there are still ships that you don't have. That's interesting. So this one has no guarantee. But it does have duplicate protection. So this one has duplicate protection, but no guarantee on when you get the ship. This one has duplicate protection on the ships and a guaranteed delivery on the ships. That's 2 points worth mentioning. Okay, fair enough. I'll keep that up just in case. Before we move to the rank, let's see if we maybe catch up with the chat. I mean, Mac, no British port. I'm not surprised. Yeah, I think they're going to add them in phases. And to be honest, we haven't had Hamburg since August 2019. It's been a while. Look, I'm kind of angry about Black Friday ships, Bogey and Bismarck, instead of giving those buffs to the real they made to B ship. That's a scam on another level. I wonder if they may be thinking of doing this to the Tetri or not. It might be maybe because basically this is the thing. It feels like a scam selling the Tetri ship for doubloons because you put a black skin on it. Like, let's be honest. If you wanted the black skin that badly, you would just get some Black Friday camos and convert it into a permanent camouflage on that ship. And there you go. There's your Black Friday camo. So I guess in some regards, it kind of feels like a scam if they didn't do it. So if they do something to it, it kind of justifies it, I guess you could say. Does it feel grubby? Potentially. Do I agree with this Black Friday BS? No, honestly, I don't. I kind of just wish they just didn't do it. But I'm just a content creator. I don't sit on the financial board at Wargaming, unfortunately. That's a new name for secondary, anti-torpedo bombardment. Yeah, it's quite a strange one. Principal told me yesterday that they will not bring back Jean Bar at all. One day later, they put a pirate skin in there and just release it. Well, there are some slight differences with the Jean Bar. I think we can probably discuss them. I just need to find the right place to talk about them. So let's see. There are several differences. Problem: the ship is less accurate and has less gun range and a bit longer base reload. I think I've got that actually somewhere. No, however, I'm just trolling through. Where did I put it? So the Jean Bar pirate ship will have a lower sigma, a lower main battery range, a 1 second slower reload, an increased secondary range and accuracy. And should also have better rudder shift and should be able to swap enhanced secondary targeting consumable with engine boost rather than main battery reload booster, as per the premium Jean Bar. Yeah. So that's the differences, I guess you could say. But we'll probably be able to experience those forthcoming. My biggest question for wargaming using ATBT term is why? Why? Yeah. Maybe because of modernization. Maybe because they need more 4-letter acronyms. I thought Jean Bar CE and new Jean Bar was that's more money. Yeah, no, I did. But then again, yeah, well, I guess it kind of is a Jean Bar C and a Jean Bar. It's a Jean Bar and a Jean Bar pirate with a different name. If you really thought into wargamers say no to money. Yeah, true. They've done it before. The American commander Kong's ship was Japanese. Yeah, well, Congo. Yeah. ATBT because so they can say they're not meant for range. They're only for close DD support. Yeah. Question: I wish it had been Tirpitz B instead of Bismarck B. I can't. Did we get? Jeff, I'm suspicious too. Maybe the future will only be engaged in DDs. Oh no. Chat, didn't we clear it? Wargaming hates British stuff. Lack of British content for 4 years proves it. No, you can't really say that. Okay, but some secondaries are dual purpose. That's the point of adding the third term. Yeah. Griff, Bernard, despite the changes to Pirate JB, we will live another 2019 December when we had 6 in each battle. Jean Bars everywhere. Oh yeah, Jean Bars back. Devs are inconsistent. Yeah, I'll give you that one. I mean, the Cossack 38 just comes out the woodwork for no apparent reason on the Tuesday. Oh yeah. Oh no, okay, at the end, chat, we are the community. We never changed the term, so wargaming can say ATB or whatever as much as they want. It will always be secondary. Or could we call it tertiary battery? Like, oh, but it's Black Pearl Jean Bar and comes with Jenny Depp. Oh. I'm just gonna say it. I know this is gonna probably come off as woke as hell and like Me Too generation and all that. But let's be honest. Okay, I can get the argument that the reason why we have no African commanders in the game is because historically there weren't any commanders of African origin in some form or way. However, why the hell can they not make up a fantasy one? I mean, we have Mr. White Guy here and Mrs. White Lady here. We just had 3 white people for Halloween, like, or two was it 2 white people and 1 Asian? Like, why can't wargaming just imagine black people? Like, why can't they do it? I know I probably shouldn't say it, but like every time they release these new fictional characters, which are non-collaborative, why are they always white? I mean, they imagined a goldfish, for God's sake. I mean, I keep thinking, should I bring it up? And I keep thinking, oh, I'll probably end up getting, like, whinged at if I did it. But, like, every time I see it, I just keep thinking, God's sake. Yeah, like, this is the perfect opportunity. Like, you're using your imagination. You're not relying on history. Just pick one. Just make it up. Like, just do it. Why can't they? Oh, yeah, they got plenty of black ships. Yeah, no, I give them that. They got plenty of black ships. God's sake. Oh, anyway, Major's rant over. To be honest, like, that's the kind of rant video that maybe someone should be making. In all honesty. Right, ranked. We have some stuff about ranked. They were created a space fish and a goldfish. Yeah, exactly. Right. Come on, guys. It's getting ridiculous. This game's been going for since 2019. You still can't imagine someone of African origin. Alright, ranked. I'm going to move this on. Ranked. So, obviously, ranked is starting on November the 10th, and there's going to be 4 seasons of it, and it looks like it's practically going to be every weekend. We have the 10th to the 14th. Looks like they might be adding more steel as rewards, so maybe they're trying to increase the amount of steel in the game. Season 33 is starting on the 17th, which is literally the next weekend. Yeah, so they are going to... Basically, if you get exhausted of seasons of ranked, then expect to get knackered of ranked already. Cribs to confirm that ranked will be tier 4, 5, 6 and 7. So season 32 will be ranked tier 4. Season 33 will be tier 5. Season 34 will be tier 6. Again, more steel. November the 24th. Yeah, back-to-back weekends of this. Rank Battle Season 35. 1st to the 5th. Going to be tier 7 ships. And yeah, they're back-to-back in these. So they are cramming these seasons of ranked in. I can see player fatigue kicking in very quickly with these seasons. Looking at the rewards, probably obviously we don't know numbers, but steel, booster flags, big crates, promotion orders, maybe an insignia, doubloons. That 33 is identical to 32. Like there's no difference when I'm switching between those two. Moving on to 34. 34 is exactly the same. I mean, I can keep switching between 32, 33 and 34 and there's no difference. On to 35, they then start switching some things out. They start putting in some Black Friday camouflages and Black Friday container and accommodation. Yeah, they add accommodation. So I think season 35, this could be quite interesting. It might be they've actually tweaked the rewards in season 35 to see if they can draw more players back in on the final season. So they can basically try and counter player fatigue. That could be interesting. Anyway, we're back. We're going to have a look at the daring. Now, there are some talks about the daring here, so we'll have a quick look at that, and then we'll take a look at the stats over on PC. So, the largest class of British destroyer rises to legendary tier. So, yep, confirmed she's legendary tier, and she's coming to the Bureau. Daring's high explosive shells are particularly incendiary, and her torpedoes can be launched individually. Basically, her AP, high explosives, typical British torpedoes. Her sonar can be a lifesaver, so not offensive, maybe defensive. Again, kind of confirming she's got the typical British sonar, which is 3.5 kilometers for detecting ships and 2.5 kilometers for detecting torpedoes. Smoke generator will facilitate effective in and out combat, in and out tactics. Again, basically British short smoke screens, providing much needed emergency concealment. Okay, yeah, space confirming the short duration. Beware of her size, however, and watch out for incoming enemy aircraft. Basically, her AA is pretty rubbish. The project requires you to possess British tech tree destroyers, Jervis and Lightning to complete certain segments. Again, so this is the kind of like the tech tree lock that they've added onto Bureau projects. The research process can be boosted either with research points or doubloons. They want your hard-earned cash. Please note this project is not available in the mobile version, so you have to at least log into your console to do that. in regards to her over on PC, let's have a quick goosey gander at what we have for the Daring. So her main battery, she has 3 twin gun mounts of 113mm quick fire basic main battery with a 2.8 second reload, which obviously sounds quite good. 2 quintuplet torpedo launchers, very nice. 125 second reload, maximum torpedo damage of about 16,000 damage. Torpedo range of about 9 kilometers and torpedo speed of 62 knots. So I suspect she's going to have quintuplet lightning style torpedoes, 10 kilometer range. Yeah, I mean, not going to be super standing out. Obviously, we have some confirmation about it, but let's read through the pros and cons of the Daring over on PC. Pros: unmatched ability among destroyers to start fires of high explosive shells. I guess you could say that's confirmed. Torpedoes are stealthy and can be single-fired, while single-fired has been confirmed. Enhanced armor-piercing auto-bounce angles, increasing the shell's effectiveness versus angled targets. That has been confirmed by Prince Blip over on the Discord. Heal. Now, this has been rumoured, I guess you say, rumoured confirmed, so she might come with a heal. She also has short burst smoke screen, which obviously is going to be quite helpful, and she has short range hydroacoustics, which stops her being surprised by torpedoes and potentially allows her to push destroyers in smoke which don't have sonar. Downsides: long torpedo reload, quite typical for a British destroyer. Concealment is the worst, or worse than her predecessor, basically that's Jutland. She lacks engine boost, making the Daring quite slow in comparison to other destroyers. So overall PC, she has a top speed of 35 knots. So yeah, no, I'd say that's to be expected. Lack of engine boost as well. I mean, she's not going to be that nippy. No defensive AA fire, and yeah, basically AA may not be the greatest either. And obviously, if you don't like short screen smoke screens, you're obviously not going to like the short duration smoke screen, I guess you could say. Righto. So much. Hello. I will make a wild guess. You're a Labour voter. Let's keep politics out of this. I'm not gonna deny or confirm. Right, balance changes. Oh, Snowpatch, I get what you're talking about. No, I'd say my political views are probably centre right. Is probably where I'm at usually. Balance changes. So there are some tweaks, I guess you could say. Some nerfs, some buffs, some again they keep talking about this anti-torpedo bombardment in more places, so please get used to it. I don't know why. Just call it secondary battery. Again, I think they've let Blip too close to the patch notes again. Daring in Jutland's going to be easy to kill. You can't really miss those chunky gumbers. Yeah, no. Okay, all the Bureau projects now should receive the tech tree lock and take away all legendary ships from players who still don't own a single tier 6 ship. That'd be a bit cruel, but I think, yeah, definitely introducing the lock would be something worthwhile. That small house looks nice behind B turret on Daring. Yeah, wow, captain's quarters. People are going to hype Daring, and then I'm the same as Lightning. Bye bye. I don't know. Lightning's, well, then again, my opinion is massively biased, so maybe I shouldn't talk about destroyers. But yeah, I love Lightning. Lightning's still really strong for it too. So the Ibuki's getting some love, which is potentially understandable. She's getting the main battery reload decreased to 0.7 seconds. Main battery traverse speed basically decreased by 6.3 seconds. Torpedo reload being dropped by 6 seconds stock and 7 seconds on the upgrade version. The Japanese destroyer, the Yugamo, is also getting some tweaks, basically to separate her a bit further from the Kigero. She's getting torpedo reload upgrades, upgraded torpedoes reload being reduced by 7 seconds. The HP is also being increased. She's gaining 300 HP on the stock hull, and she's gaining 500 HP on the upgraded hull, basically giving us more survivability. Rune's getting some tweaks in regards to her main battery traverse speed. She's getting a 4.3 second decrease on her stock and a 10-second decrease on the upgraded. That's quite a hefty reduction on the upgraded hull. Denley is getting some buffs and some nerfs as well. Okay, so she's getting high explosive shell damage increased by 150. She's getting her AP shell damage increased by 250. She's getting her main battery reloads increased though, so yeah, she's getting more damage, but she's getting basically less deep, maybe less shots out. But it's only a 1 second decrease. Again, this is very fine tuning. Main battery traverse speed has been increased. That's quite a hefty increase. That's 4.8 seconds there, and a total of 3 seconds on the upgraded version. Dmitry Donskoy, HP increase by Brain's Gone Dead 4,000, I want to say. Radar consumable duration. Ooh, 5 second increase. Sonar consumable duration also increased, but only by 2 seconds. Why? Why? It's just 2 seconds. Torpedo's detectability increased by 0.2 kilometers, and ship's detectability increased by. Now that's definitely going to be of interest. That being increased by 0.3 kilometers. If you're a destroyer, that's definitely something you want to be watching out for. Champagn's getting some love because no one likes to play that stuff. So she's getting a HP increase, probably to make her a bit more soluble against HE spammers, which is a total of on the just under 5,000. What was that? 4,000? No, 4,000. 4,500. I want to say. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Maximum HE shell damage being increased by 600. Graf Zeppelin is finally getting a bit of love, which is understandable because although the ship itself really kind of fitted in with everything, the aircraft kind of were a bit lackluster. But amusingly, they're doing the torpedo aircraft rather than the AP bombers. I thought they would have done the AP bombers rather than the torpedoes. So torpedo damage has been increased, torpedo speed's been increased, and the torpedoes now arm quicker. Okay. Secondary battery is being pushed out, but the secondary battery, yeah, probably shouldn't be in secondary battery range. Aircraft hangars being increased, so obviously that's going to try and improve the survivability of the aircraft, the ability to regenerate aircraft. Well, not regenerate, but make sure you got another one ready and waiting. And the planes have been made more maneuverable. I think that this vague term, more maneuverable, I think that's probably the main thing. Yeah. Okay. Let's see how far they've taken it. Modernisation. So, how much? Yeah, I'm going to just quickly swap my teacup out for the whiskey that I've got stashed aside. There we go. So they've got some of the Japanese blended whiskey from Saturday's live stream. Obviously, watered down a little bit. We want to actually taste the flavours. You know, we don't want to just taste burning alcohol. Right, modernisation. So basically, they've looked at what players kind of take, and they've noted that a lot of players were avoiding taking main battery module 2 because. Although it did increase turret traverse speed, it nerfed main battery reload. And to be honest, a lot of players are just going to go, you know what, turret traverse is only going to really matter up close. Whereas like reload speed is going to matter all the time. So I think that's why a lot of players will go, no, I want to keep my reload speed. I don't really care too much about traverse speed. So they've made a bit of a buff in regards to the percentage of basically reduction of the turret traverse speed rotation, and they've also got rid of the debuff, so potentially might make it interesting. Gunfire Control Module 2 is receiving a substantial buff, main battery range bonus increase from 5 to 10%. So that was the increase in the range one. These changes are being brought in to increase the build variety rather than basically, like I said, the cookie cutter. They're kind of like, this is the thing, when you look at certain tech trees and certain ships and things like that, you see that people just take the same modules, because they're the best choices. So they're trying to make obviously a bit of variation. The problem is they have to be careful that they don't do it too much, that they just change the shape of the cookie cutter. That's the thing. Adjustments, basically this is just those pointless trait things that I personally, I don't like them in the game, because most of the time they're a load of codswallop, and they mean nothing. So when you're picking a ship, when you're looking at a ship, when you're deciding what you're going to buy, just please don't look at the ship traits. I mean, have a look at them, but don't buy it because of them. Like, look at those traits and then look at the stats and actually interrogate the stats, because quite often things like French destroyers are agile. They have the worst turning circle and the worst rudder shift. Now, if being able to quickly move, okay, is agility, they're not agile. They're just fast in a straight line. Like, being able to slowly turn, but traveling fast, and then slowly, that's not agile. Like, being able to turn on the dime, that's agile. So that's why, in my opinion, all French destroyers that have the trait agile is an absolute lie. And you see it all the time. You see, like, Reloader, and you'll look at the DPM and you go, but it's not really that, it's good, but it's not the best. It's just a bit better than average. And so quite often I'd say, oh, just ignore these traits, or look at them and then interrogate the stats more. Mobile improvements. I don't think anyone here actually plays mobile. If you do, shout now and we'll come back to it, but we'll jump into the bug fixes. So, rare instance where the game crashed when the campaign phase. Hitbox on one island on Tears Desert was taller than the model suggested. Additionally, some buildings let shells pass through them. Both instances have been fixed. When the recent Sunrise map stopped many a ship, this will no longer occur. Okay. The description of Burn Bay Burn Skin has now been correctly mentions the increase in fire chance for aircraft carrier secondary battery. Richelieu's torpedo bulge is now correctly visible in the armor gear. That has been a long time bug. Palo Amelia had an incorrect camo in the storm preview window. Okay, and then obviously then we have another mobile app update. Other things, the being able to choose port. I think this is a very nice quality of life change, and I hope that they do, like they say, continue to add to this, because then it will be London time all the time. For the major. Yeah, so at the moment this patch is obviously not available on mobile. So they should just take this, right, and pull it all the way up here, just put it here. Get it over and done with. So, right, so not available on mobile, as most things. The ability to choose your ports. Basically, they're introducing this ability with this patch where you'll be able to pick which port you want out of these 5 ports. They plan to obviously expand this list, but the interesting one is these ports obviously come with their own music as well. So if you have a certain music that you did like, then you can expand that. I suspect what they might do is maybe add like 1 port per patch just to slowly build it up. I'm kind of surprised we haven't got New York here. And also, I'm very surprised we haven't got Vanilla Manila. And I'm very surprised. I would have thought they would have done New York, Manila, probably Fjords, Nagasaki, and then just a coin toss for the last one. So I think seeing Ocean, a completely new port, Hamburg, a very old port which we've only ever seen once, Marseille, again a port that we only had for like 2 patches, and Nagasaki, which we've only had for 2 patches, but more recently fjords, which is almost becoming the new Manila. Being the 5 choices, I think is quite interesting. To be honest, I think this was almost chosen by the DM team, because I would have said it would have been really nice if they made this into a community poll, because that could have really hyped it up. They could have said, like, community, we're bringing selectable maps in the next in the next update, or the update after the next. Community, pick your ports, and they just have a big poll. I mean, that would have been quite cool. I suspect maybe they did do something like that over on Facebook and things like that, but they just didn't really make it clear that that's what they were intending to do, I guess you could say. But yeah, that's about it. This is a very interesting quality of life change. I'd say this is actually quite a bit. It's such a small thing, but it has such a big impact on gameplay. And this is the thing. This is the kind of things I wish they would focus on a lot more, rather than taking tech-free ships and painting them black and changing the stats a little bit and charging you lots of doubloons in order to purchase them. But then again, I guess making these game quality of life changes don't make money, unfortunately. Yes. So obviously they've added this ability where obviously when you go into, basically from this update on, your rudder will hold whenever you're switched to the quick commands pizza. Please note that this is only true for ships that will not work, basically won't work with ships. Please also keep in mind that since we don't have fine adjustment of the rudder, even if you only turn only slightly and call up the quick menu, your turn will progress to 100% while you're interacting with the command wheel. Which again, it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. And usually, quite often, you're sticking that rudder right over when you go into mode, and as you then go into that command wheel. So it's sticking to going full over. I'd say it's going to be probably correct about 75% of the time. A lot of players don't exactly focus on little adjustments of the rudder. Usually it's full over left, full over right. So I think, yeah, although it's not a perfect change, I'd say it's probably going to be correct for about 75% of the time. We have some Xbox stuff. Basically, if you're interested, temporal anti-aliasing is now enabled on Xbox One and One S console and battle. Other consoles previously had this enabled. This provides more stable picture quality and smoother geometry edges for objects. Anti-backing interface improvement. Yeah, basically improved interface for anti-backing. Right, let's see if I can quickly catch up with the chat. Gas speed needs AP bombs buff, though. This is the thing. This is why I'm surprised they buffed her torpedoes. Honestly, her torpedoes were fine. The aircraft maneuverability was a bit chunky, and the armor-piercing bombs were just incredibly disappointing. They probably should have done the AP bombs. Why they focus on the torpedoes, God knows why. Donsko will be very strong with these buffs. She was strong before this as well. Champagan buff is laughable. Yeah, no. He uses the high explosives on the Champagan. Who finds themselves against only barrel tanking battleships? That's true. That's true. That's true. Why Champagan when even Flanders is better? Yeah. Only Mac room temperature. Yeah, well, it's slightly cooled. I mean, it was cold water. I did use. Modernizations will be opening new builds. 15-kilometer Karabos and 23 connects off anyone. My question is, even though they added this, is it possible that ranges won't go up for certain ships because there'll be an upper limit cap? I think there is a potential of that. Most ships will benefit without these negative effects. Narco, I sold main today. Bye bye main, and hello Tamira. I'm going to keep saying it wrong until I actually sit down and actually watch them down. Narco, we do not care for mobile, no one does. The ocean blue for me. Yeah, ocean's quite a good looking map. Deutschland, yes. Justice for Deutschland. I'm not surprised the American community, what's the largest one, don't get New York or Pearl Harbor. That's true, that's true. New battleships got a huge turret traverse buff. Well, that is all the patch notes. Feel free for any questions. Valid questions, obviously. And then we'll have a quick maybe pause of that. No, Temera. Temera. This is the problem. You can't exactly pronounce something without hearing it first. Temera. Then again, I'm sure we're all looking forward to playing the Jean Bar and the restaurant. Oh. Actually, I didn't know you're a German fan. Did Major say Deutschland, Deutschland? As long as we don't start singing Erika. British smoke and sequential torpedoes for Pirate Fantast. Ooh. Ooh, I like the sound of that. It's that would be nice. Give the this thing. Why is Le Fantast being British? Like, we'll have to rename it, won't we? Oh. Actually, it's already got a new name, hasn't it? What's it called? La Fuda. Yeah, maybe we should come up with a British name for it. Actually, the British did actually capture some French? Well, not necessarily capture. Let's keep it correct. But we acquired some French destroyers. Let's have a look. Let's see. Did we get a Le Fantast class in the British Navy? Let's have a look. Post-war sloops, Black Swan class, frigates, Flower class, minesweepers. Now we need to go to destroyers, don't we? What's that? Macintosh, Black Swan, Aberdeen. Let's get to the contents. It's the French stuff. I didn't get many of them. Destroyers, two destroyers, that's hunt class. Destroyers might be on page 50 something. Just gotta find them. Because there were some French destroyers which served in the Royal Navy. Just gotta find them. I remember them being in here. They got used in the Mediterranean. J and K class. British would call it the adequate. That'll do. HMS that'll do. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Oh, okay, that's ex-American. Definitely in here somewhere. Got to we got to World War I V&W class. Mountbatten pink. British Fantast should be called the Fantast. No. Capricon. HMS Capricon. Where is it? No, that's ships that served under the Free French Navy. That's landing craft. Submarines. No. That's motor torpedo boats. I can't seem to find the section on it. That's a shame. It's definitely a ship that Temeron's going to be interested. Yeah. Well, I do apologise, chat. I can't seem to find the section in my book regarding French destroyers in the Royal Navy. There are definitely a few, not many. They were basically captured in port when the French changed sides. Well, not changed sides, when the French went neutral. I don't like it when you say they changed sides. My French audience is getting smaller and smaller, I'm sure. Hunt class. The thing is that there was so few of them that they kind of course, they're only going to take up about half a page in this book. That's the Q class. O and P class. Well, that's going to be the L and M class, which of course includes. That's the N class and the J class. And the K class too. Lovely, jubbly. And then we've got the tribals. And then we got the I, H. I think I'm going to have to give up my search, unfortunately. Yeah, there were definitely a few. Not many, but there were some French destroyers which served under / with the Royal Navy during World War II, after they were either captured in port, say like Alexandria or something like that. The Minstrel, I'd have to look into it. Sean, just call it Le Boatie McFloatie. Always had Caprism when I was young. It was made in Germany. Right. Anything else from anyone else? I mean, if not, I think we're all done. Major's just sipping on whiskey now. Yeah, I'm just checking. Minstrel was one refloated after scuttling. Have a quick look. Destroy the Borax class. Capture the British at Plymouth. Very nice. Okay, right. If that's one of them, there's a good chance I might be able to use the index to find the section on it. Page 73. There we go. Ex-French vessels. Okay. There's the. Unfortunately, there's not a Le Fantasque class there. Unfortunately, there is Minstrel, Haitian Minstrel, which is a Boras class destroyer, 1942. She was seized in 1940, so obviously she was in British service in 1942. She was put into put into service of the Royal Navy. Her guns were replaced with British 4.7-inch guns due to a lack of ammunition for obviously French caliber guns, and the need for a more common supply of ammunition. She has a fairly standard Royal Navy destroyer fit, with aft torpedo tubes being replaced with a 3-inch anti-aircraft gun. There is a single 2-pounder on the aft deck house, but she has a single 20mm Oerlikon on the former searchlight platform, 2 between the funnels and 1 in each bridge wing. The paint scheme obviously then goes on about the paint scheme. There's also HMAS La Melpomene, which is a Pomon class torpedo boat. So obviously she entered British service in 1940, and it says, how do you make a captured French ship look less French? Well, the answer is Le Monpem. I'll put it in the chat for anyone who's interested in history, so they can look into it. La Mel Pom Imni. There you go. For those of you interested, the answer is Le. No, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, so we'll just stop. Seems to have a paint scheme the very reverse of what was worn when she was in French service. The ship had very poor stability, and after capsizing in the English Channel with heavy loss of life, she was relegated to secondary duties. There was an attempt to transfer them to the. I'll be kind. The attempt to try and transfer them to the Dutch and the Poles, but it seems nobody really wanted them. Not even the Free French, who rejected the transfer. Oh god. Yeah. This class of French destroyer is so bad, the French didn't even want it back. Oh, so difficult. Right, that book can go away. And now our little diversion down history lane can now come to an end. Queen of Italy is famous for changing sides. Well, yes. Well, obviously Mussolini took his time in entering the war because he didn't want to enter a war that he couldn't win. He wanted to make sure that Germany was going to win. Then entered the war reluctantly on the Axis side and decides to invade southern France and obviously start operations in Africa. Then operations in Africa start going badly. Furthermore, operations as he invades Greece start going badly, and the Germans end up having to prop up the African and the Greek campaigns. And then obviously when things start to take a turn for the worse later in the war, and Italy is half invaded, Mussolini is arrested by the I want to say the Italian government or the Italian royal family. It was something along those lines. He was arrested. Italy then obviously came out on the side of the Allies, and then the Germans did a paratrooper mission, glider mission, in order to free Mussolini. Mussolini was then put in charge of Axis-related Italy, while there was Allied-related Italy. Italy was kind of split in half. So actually, during the war, we end up in this strange situation where not only did the French fight the French, we also have it where the Italians fought the Italians. So yeah, it's quite an interesting, a very muddied history in 1943, I guess you say. So you have Italy on both sides of the conflict, and then obviously, Mussolini ends up getting captured and suddenly executed by a rampaging mob. I still think the Alaska class were beautiful, with Alaska and Marie Antoinette. Let's have a little. Just sadly never built. Yeah, never built. I don't know about that one. That one existed. That one, the hull was laid down. But yeah, the rest of it never built. That one, just paper design. So unfortunately, yeah, Tier 8 is the world of fantasy ships, unfortunately. Xmas update? What, for the Royal Navy port? I think we can probably expect New York. Just one of those things that we've had New York so many times for Christmas. At least like 2 of the 3 past Christmases. I say we're probably going to end up with New York again. I think we're going to end up with another American ship, American campaign. I think we can all sadly expect that, potentially. Unless you really, really like American ships. Right. I think the chat slowed down, and I think I've exhausted the things I want to talk about. So, yeah, I think I'm going to sign off there. Stay safe and stay well. And obviously, thank you to everyone who has popped by. I do like to always go through everyone's name, so I'm going to put this in the centre. Nice and beautiful. I'll just go through everyone's names and say thank you to everyone who's come by. So I'd like to say thank you to Charlie Ho, to Action Pumpers, Randy Chang, to Narcos, Jeff Dave. Also thank you to Melissa Smith, to Amal Criv, to Sean Whitling. Let's see who else we have. Thank you to Andy Mack and Big Killer. Thank you to Azuma as well. Thank you to the name was Eternal. Who else we have popped by? Thank you to the questioner. Good to see you. Thank you to Zoe Sachs. Who else do we have popped by? Thank you to Sniper Patch. Thank you to Peggy Jones who popped by. Also thank you to R9DNG. I know there's a name in here that I have missed, and it's gonna bug me. Well, if I have missed your name, I do apologise, but thank you to everyone for popping by and listening to me go through the notes and give you my opinions as we go through. I might stream the first day of the patch. It's going to obviously be subject to negotiations with the wife. We are going to be streaming tomorrow. That's already scheduled in, so you can obviously set yourself a notification for that, or just confirm what time it is starting. So yeah, I think it's an early stream. I want to say it's a 7:30 stream. The reason being is obviously the wife finishes work at 10, so I need to make sure I have enough time to do a 2-hour stream and then actually cook dinner. Melissa, probably something OP in December. Yeah, no, I could see that. Although, yeah, no, I was going to say, although they haven't really, they run out of 18-inch gun battleships, but then again, there's also other OP stuff out there. Some like really horrible fire-breathing cruisers from the Russians. Being it's probably, I suspect it's going to be American. It's going to be American. Maybe Austin. Could we have Austin as a legendary campaign award? Maybe. Obviously, there's nothing. This is me just my rambling thoughts. Anyway, have a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and a good night wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, stay well. Enjoy what is left of your Thursday or Friday, wherever you are in the world. And I catch you in under 24 hours for the Friday night live stream. Till then, I'm the Gaffer Major. Back to the ball.